I grew up howling along with Sinead O'Connor. I had a shaved head just like hers back in those days when it was still shocking to have that. What connected me to her when I was young was her absolute ruthless telling of the truth, of the glory, the pain, her 100% vulnerability. She asked things of her fans that were uncomfortable. She lived her life viscerally with her heart beating on the outside of her skin. She couldn't be any other way. And it made her hard to be around. It made you want to look away. And what that really says to me is look how much we pretty ourselves up, how nice we make ourselves, how we lead with an air of not being needy and not being vulnerable and not letting people see the rotten parts of ourselves. And she let you see every part in public, while also having an angelic countenance and voice. And that break in her voice was both divine and so human. So it makes sense to me that with that testament for what her art did to me, did for me, did with me, and in a further testament to her beautiful, talk about someone that was in touch with their wild selves. She couldn't not be that self all of the time, which I bet is a fucking insane burden. We all know how to put on the public mask when it's necessary. She didn't have one. It doesn't make your life easy, but she for sure told the fucking truth. Maybe you've noticed that I have changed the title of this channel to REWILD Your World. And the concept of body of truth has never been more true. That in this world where it doesn't surprise me that Sinead could not grow to a ripe old age of crondom, because the urgency and matrixness and falsehood that we are being fed on a daily basis, if we don't look into our bodies for the truth of our hearts, and then the right thinking of mind, just not our thinky thinking, our mind, our pure thoughts that are delivered from God, each of us needs to step up now. So the reason the title for REWILD Your World is that we need to come back to the center of ourselves, men and women alike. I don't care how old you are. You're still that wailing teenager inside. You are still a mass of vulnerability and needs and strength and fire. It's just been very smoothed over. Some of it by necessity, the roles we take on. But I'm telling you, the return is imperative at this time in this world. You chose to incarnate now. That means that you already are a little bit of a leader. Because those that don't stand up now are going to be swept away. You can call the flood whatever you want. You can call the flood AI. You can call the flood COVID. There is going to be a lot of tests ahead, and we are just being fed the beta version of them, I believe. And if you want to take a stand and you want to survive, it is the time to reclaim all of you and the power of that magical child and the power of that wailing teenager screaming along with Sinead, railing along with the heart-wrenching, act of being an adolescent. You need her rebellion and you need her power now. My subject matter will not change. It will be more focused, more directed, and it will be how I can help you directly. And I will continue to wail along to those songs all day and for the rest of my life. And I will see you tomorrow.